Monday morning after Father's Day. Hope everybody had a nice Father's Day. I got a chance to hang out with my family. We drove an hour plus away and spent the day in Hays, Kansas. It was a great time, but again, Mondays always come. It's time to pack orders today on The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Welcome, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer here on a Monday morning early. Gonna get my items packed and listed. There's some interesting ones to see. I'll give you a glimpse of them. I did get a few packed Saturday night when we got back from Denver. Looks like there's 4 boxes in there. I think I have 20 more. Let's take a peek at what we're selling. First one is through Amazon. It's these HO train switches. We bought a bunch of them at $1.50 each. They list at $9.99, 10 bucks each, free shipping. We'll send a couple of them over to Tennessee. Let's get that out. Next, for shipping to California, here is the ever popular cartridge basic from IBM Personal Computers 1983. Pop that in and you can write some basic. That went for $8.94 plus some shipping. This came in a box full of cartridges, and so I probably have $1 in it. So let's ship that out. And here's probably my favorite sale of the day. This is the 1976 bowling ball 200 game, 200 years in red. And it's in the box. The box is rough. Paid $10 at a rummage sale. I'm not in the bowling ball business. I've bought and sold a few. This is a good one. Sold for $173.99 plus shipping. Again, going to Tennessee. Tennessee is my big purchaser today, I guess. West clocks, little Art Deco clock from the 30s, 40s, somewhere in there. I wound it and tested it. It appears to keep time. You have to wind it probably every day though. $52.19, $52.19 plus shipping. It's going to Texas. Paid $10. Picking up speed. Forgot to show this one. ProMaster Spectrum extension tube set, sold for $56.09. Packed it up. Whoops. Out to Mexico. Good luck. I hope it gets there. Back in 1918, this is how they solve their calculations for exposure and how to take a picture. This is a Burke and James Harvey slide rule exposure meter, sold for $17.74, shipping to Texas. Here is an ugly box. Focus screen for an Asahi Pentax 6x7, $34.43. Going to Florida. Apparently it's new in there. The box is just a box. Okay, so here you see a case, Nikon case for binoculars, vintage. We don't pick up a whole lot of binoculars, but certain ones are good. This one's $78.52 plus shipping to Germany. There's another look at it. I mean, they look like standard binoculars. Got my hat pulled down. This is a different style hat if I have it up. Can't see the message, right? Standard looking binoculars. I don't know which ones are the good brands. Most vintage binoculars, if they are in good condition, have some value. There certainly are some that are skyrocket value and in demand if you want to know that, if you want to get a basic look at that market, put binoculars or vintage binoculars in eBay search. Do a sold, click the sold box so you can see what's selling, and then do a high to low and you can kind of get an idea. These are pretty good ones. We don't pay a lot for them and we don't run into them all that often. Maybe we buy and sell one pair a month. New old stock cameras or cameras in the box with all their chargers and goodies, typically if you can test them, are pretty good. Here's a Panasonic Z55 Lumix, sold for $50, $50.48, shipped to Arizona. We'll pick those up. Okay, listed as a rare Palyard Bolex 16mm, some sort of fader, iris fader, so it's got a way to adjust light, vision, whatever, into the camera, movie camera. Neat little piece. We've had this listed for a year, just to give you an idea sometimes how hard it is to find, or for the person who needs this to find it, you got to wait till they need it. But does sell for $34.49 plus $22 shipping, going to Switzerland. When I think of Switzerland, I think of skiing. I think that's it though. What else do they have? Money, gold, Swiss bank account, Swiss Alps. That's the skiing part. Okay, here's a nice lens with some issues. I don't have the data on the issues, but it's going to South Korea. It is a SMC Takumar, $64.25 plus shipping. Ship it. Okay, I do read all the comments and such, and appreciate that. Everybody's looking out for me, or most people are looking out for me. I appreciate that. I did pick up this partially on-site tested TIAC, and it's got an X3 on the front. I did note when I was testing this thing that it had all these different gauges on here, and level meters and things like that. I probably would have caught it when I looked at it, because when I looked up the pictures recently, after somebody made a comment, Garage Flips and a couple others made comments. I can't remember which one was first, but I do appreciate the follow-ups on that. If you look on the back, there's a tag here. Probably can zoom into it if I really try here. It's not that important, but it does have the correct information. Let's see if that'll come in. Probably not. It still is a TIAC. Still has a TIAC, but it's branded as a Tascam 22-4, which is a professional unit. And instead of this thing selling as in, turns on, partially working, for maybe 100 plus shipping, it's probably now worth at least 200 plus shipping, maybe started at 250 plus shipping. It needs a going over. It needs some parts to get running, and obviously the faceplate is not quite right. I do understand I could take it apart and sell the feet or some of the other pieces, and that might be a good way to go too. So I'll have to look at that when I get around to listing that in the next week or so. So I do appreciate that. Here's a Yashica, I like to say Yashica, fitted case for a lens, going back to Colorado, $11.56, actually Colorado Springs, and that is shipped. Here's a semi-refillable Kodachrome vintage canister, unique and cool. There it is. Somebody wants that in New Jersey for $9.78 shipped. Oh, this little guy is a Olympus OM10 manual shutter speed adapter for film cameras in the box. fairly hard to find something like this out in the field. $34.70 going to California. Alright, so somebody ordered a couple of these old Kodachrome 2 color movie film, 1967 and 1967. Most of these, I believe, are going to be used for display and sort of a curiosity. There are film collectors out there. Some people try to use this, and when they do use it, they would get sort of a wacky aged effect. If anything, they'd have to be fairly skilled at it. Let's see, what did these sell for? $16 each, free shipping, shipped out to San Francisco. Going to somebody who's going to play around with this, I guess. Let's get it out. Film spools are funny. They started to remanufacture and 3D print these and a whole bunch of other things. They've changed a lot in the pricing over the years. We still sell them. Now we're selling 2 at a time in certain ones. Spy cameras and old box cameras and wooden ones and oddball ones still go for a lot of money. These are $14.23 plus shipping to Canada for the pair. Here's a nice folding camera, all folded up, $32.12 going to Oregon, depending on where you're from, who you are. Oregon, there it is, all blown up. Let's ship that out. Well, I think I missed a couple. We sold one of these dark slides for 16 bucks. And this adapter for 26 bucks. I already packed those up and missed taking the video. I got into my video I'm watching on the other screen. Here's another adapter, Hasselblad adapter, $17. Going to Honolulu, Hawaii. Here's a manual, Kodak manual, sold for $9.89. Ship that out to Texas. I'm standing here with Wheeler, the watch guy. So we're still new to watches. This one's not doing what it's supposed to.
It's going kind of sluggy. It seems to be working right now, but it's going sluggy.
Well, it depends on which way you hold it then. Because when it was...
Well, no, because I pulled it out and set it and then put it back in there.
Well, okay. So here's another watch, $17. It's a Rhoda. It's I think it's one that needs to be fixed, so it's sold for parts. Alright, so Wheeler fixed the watch. We're throwing out the watch and selling the strap for how much?
$17.99.
Or at least that's what it'll be listed as.
Yep.
Watch sold for $26.99.
Usually people buy the parts when they fix the strap.
So I looked at this thing just before I shipped it, and it didn't look like it was running. And so I looked at it closer, and the second hand was just donk, 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 going back and forth as opposed to continuing. And you know, Wheeler looked it over, and it's doing miscellaneous things. It'll keep time and go and whatever, but that's some inner workings aren't right. So we are going to refund the money on that and not ship it. I would rather do that than send somebody something that's listed as runs and works great and then get it back. So we do test stuff, but some stuff you can test and it'll get hit or it'll sit and then it won't run. You got to look at it before you ship it, even then when it goes through the mail or whatever. So last item for right now is this Craftsman pocket size multi-tester. They don't go for a lot. This is new old stock, even $9.49 plus shipping. Somebody will like it. Alrighty, gonna be heading home here for some breakfast and school and family stuff during the day here. There is the bowling ball UPS and 3 totes, pretty solid 3 totes there. So hope you had as much fun as I did with that. And with that, I'm going to be back in a flash doing something. Okay, I got my back full of my packages here. Now riding in this thing is full of adventure. Let's just say it like that. Got to remember to absolutely put my phone out of my pocket and on the magnet on my dash, or it will fly. It will fall out of my pocket and out onto the road, which is right there. Now I can put my foot out. That's pretty cool. And we'll try that here while we're driving. It's a lot of fun, and I don't miss opening and closing my doors all the time. The hardest thing is finding shade. Very sunny here, which is cool, and hot, and really not a lot of trees. There's some, but not as many as you would think. So, and you know, if you leave this thing in the sun, it's no big deal unless you want to sit in it because of the black leather. 20 minutes or more in the sun, and you're on fire if you sit on it. Oh. Ball game. The thing really seems narrower when you don't have doors, and of course everybody's watching you. They can't help watching you, I guess. You got no top, you got no doors, you're bright green. Not sure I like all that. Alright, I'm gonna sign off for a minute. The only other big disadvantage is the dust level is insane. We took a dusty trip the other day, but just in general, the dust level is is quite accelerated. But you can't beat the coolness, and I mean like the wind and all that. There's no words that can describe it. So as long as I can keep my packages from flying out the back and my hat from flying off, it's pretty sweet. My mirrors come in hopefully Friday, and it's funny when you don't have side mirrors, you don't realize it till you don't have them. But I miss having my side mirrors, even with the doors off and how narrow this thing is. I feel like I'm very limited when I back around and things like that with just the middle mirror. And then I drive Lon's car, the robot, with backup cameras and side cameras and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of warnings. I drove that yesterday, and I got kind of lazy because basically you can see all around that car 100% of the time if you want to, and it gives you all kinds of warnings. So driving the Jeep, well, you go back a couple of years in technology, but fun. Gotta have a little fun between work. Back home for some more school. We got our run in this morning. We got packages out. About 5 behind in packages, which is expected and fine. A lot of listing to do tonight. So hope to do some listing. I think for the most part, that's what's gonna be up next. And this is my yard where I get my shade. Back in the office, it is time to list. I'm gonna take a break to pack some orders because there's a bunch of them. But first item for tonight is this Schwinn Aerodyne. And I'm gonna look online again to see if I can see any reference for this. This one's in pretty darn good shape. I paid $25, $35, I think I paid $25. I'm gonna look it over carefully and get on it and see if it works great and if the speedometer works. And I don't think that thing works, the mileage thing or whatever, I'm not sure. That must be a timer. Looks like the mileage indicator. I'm thinking I want to move it, so locally I'm probably going to ask 60 and take 50, but I'm going to look online. I know they go for more. I might ask 100 and take 75. I've got some time to move it, so I'm going to put it locally. I'm going to have Lon put it on our buy and sell board, and she'll monitor it. But I've got to move it out in the middle here, try it out, take a couple of pictures, and send those to Lon, and that'll be listing number 1. After doing a little research, I'm going to list that Schwinn Airdyne at $100, and I'll take less for that, but I'm going to start it at $100. They go for a couple hundred in a better market, so it needs a speedometer reconnected, but everything else is in really good shape, so we'll see how that goes. Number 2, I got some test strips in today. These are AccuCheck Aviva Plus 50 size, good dates. I'm going to post those, invoice, and email my contact. That will be 4 times 25. That will be $200. Item 2. Listing 3, Contour Next, 50 size, $49.99 free shipping. Here they are. I am doing some packing. List some, pack some. Matching pair of vintage white ceramic wall scones. One has a pull chain, original ceramic pull chain, and one has been replaced. I hope they read carefully. These sold full price, $79.99 plus shipping, going to Washington. Gonna wash up in Tacoma. Okay, test strips already sold. I'll pack those up in a little while. I got a good start on packing. I got 5 packages packed and a couple of the test strip payments and return boxes packaged up. Let's get back to packing. No, let's get back to listing. List. Fired up. Woo! Next is this, I don't know how old it is. I don't know if I'll call it vintage. Hard to tell. It is a forest mountaineering made in USA. Climbing pick, ice pick, zombie killer. Crazy point on the end of that. There are older ones for sale with like wood handles. I don't know what's under here. Maybe that's been taped up. It's probably the same thing. I'll probably list it as vintage and take some good pictures. I'm going to list it for $49.99 plus shipping. Okay, here's a question for everybody out there. Have you ever got a phone call on your cell phone or your smartphone or your Apple phone or whatever from yourself? I just got a call from my own number, and it was a short message stating that my account had been breached. It listed by either guess or some sort of knowledge my carrier, and then said, please leave the last 4 digits of your social security number after the beep. Beep. And it's waiting for you to state it. And so I hung up, and then sure enough, it's my number. I mean, I call it back just to see if it somehow goes somewhere else, and it goes right to my setup account and whatever. Duh. So I've messed around with phone numbers a little bit, in a sense that I have some numbers in other states and things like that you can put on classified ads, so that when people call, they feel like it's a local number. But when you rent or buy that number, it's not somebody else's number. You can't just buy somebody's number that's already there. So has anybody had this happen? And wow, I'm sure the technology is available, but that's pretty heavy if you can call me and my number comes up. I'm calling myself. Untraceable. Wow. Identity theft of dealer continues. I'm going to have to be a little more careful, I guess. Somebody's reading my invoices or something. Super awesome. So if you have any information on this, wow, put it in the comments. I'm all ears. I'm interested just in the logistics of it. They're coming to take me away. Ha 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 hee 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 ho ho ho. Number 5 listing, Super NES Chrono Trigger. Cartridge is in pretty good shape. Not a lot of imperfections. Game is certainly in demand. Can't list it on Amazon unless you get approved for whatever reason. High dollar cartridge, I don't know. Listed on eBay for $150, $149.99 plus shipping. We'll see how long it takes to sell. It might take a little while. It might go. Who knows? $150. Listing 5. Number 6, Final Fantasy III, Super Nintendo. Again, good shape, good condition, labels good. This one I was able to list on Amazon without any approval. $69.99 free shipping. Listed. Last listing for tonight, number 7, is HP 12C. Appears to be the real deal, made in USA. It all tests out. These are pretty good. Wheeler picked this out of somewhere where he was looking. So that would be listed for $49.99 plus shipping. We'll see where that goes. Alright, I've already got my total made up here. 7 listings, $670. Pretty ambitious about an hour ago, but I'm getting winded now. I'm getting fuzzy in the camera too. Let's get this up there. No. 7 listings, $670 away. Wheeler's on the move.
Yeah.
Got the number board by the bathroom. Number 1 or number 2? Well, I had 7 plus $670. So Wheeler's been busting it. Look at all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm only at 35 listings. Been kind of sluggy tonight.
A sluggy 35 listings today.
Yep, exactly.
Sounds pretty good.
Sore throat.
Sore throat, sluggy. Getting into the camera stuff.
Yep.
Some old camera stuff. Alright, anything else going on?
Nope.
Got some new watches this weekend. Are you wearing one of them?
Yeah, swatch.
Look at that.
A little bit
That's
too big. It's kinda
pretty
weird.
bright.
Yeah, it is super green.
I
Green
can
and red
spot
and
you
black.
a mile away like my Jeep.
Yep, it's like, man, if we're gonna swatch, I should probably get a fancy one because I have all these plain watches. I need to get some crazy ones. So.
Yeah, get fancy.
Why
Okay. Why not? Alright, I gotta get this vlog up. Speaking of getting sluggy like Wheeler, I think I got sluggy since I got up at 4 a.m. I think I got a nod off nap today somewhere along the way. But I got a 2-mile run-in today. We did calisthenics because now I'm teaching gym class with the kids. Got to get the younger ones into all that stuff. Got freezer moved home. Big freezer rolling down the street moved home. Got an old stove out of the basement. Getting ready to tear out carpet down there. Got some orders packed. Got to drive around. Boy, what else, huh? Ate supper at home, did homework. Everything happened. Okay, it's almost a good day. Well, I'm going to do the editing here and some minor other things, and so we'll see you tomorrow. Pick well, list often, dealers out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer production.